Hello, hello, hello! Here we are. Ooh, we gotta get some music. Let's get my suspense music. Okay, where is that at? Which button? You think by now I'd know? I don't. Sound. There it is. We got the old timpani. Triangle. Let's get... Where's it at? There we are. Ooh. Okay, here we go. We're going to finish this up today, I think. What we've got here is we're wrapping up Wolves of Langston, and I had to reset my setup. I have company, and there's actually a dog over my shoulder. A very scared dog. I don't know. Can you see it? Oh, man, I was going to... No, you can't really see it. But there is a dog, like, right over here. Just kind of glaring at me, like, get out of here. All right, so this is, so still cutting out. So still cutting out. I don't know what that means. Gotta get in the center. I've been messing with my chat box since we're now using the Owlbear, to do our dice. It sets up the dice in a different format than, Mike out for 30 minutes at least, quite punny. Oh, I get it. So Mike will be joining late. Who cares? Let's get going with this thing. Morgan did bring up something. I do have a Discord, where we're just set up. Mike set that up for me, where people that are playing along with us can go on there and give their opinions and whatnot. Look, I cut myself shaving today. Morgan brought up maybe it's Buttercup, the dog. Right now, to me, all signs are pointing the priestess, I think, but we'll see where this leads and what fun we can have here. But man, it's reversed. It drives me crazy. Okay, let's get into the game, and hopefully everything is looking right. I did a quick shut up. Hey, it's a thought. That's a good one, because right now, everyone's got some pretty decent alibis. So hopefully this setup is going to work for us. It's a little bit different. You can see up at the top, we do have that sort of little stat block of just like information we need. That is all of our items up there in the upper left. Just some stuff we've collected, and then like our like really good like the big magic items that we got. We got a filter of remembrance, the lesser amulet of the beast, which protects us when we're fighting beasts. We got to remember that. And the silver star that lets us remove a curse. And the filter of remembrance is the thing that like stuns a whole bunch of enemies at once. It's a pretty awesome little thing. We also have a club +1 if we do need a magical item. We do have a club +1 to use. And Morgan says the dog just seems very aware of things, and it did when we were we pulled out something from the fireplace of the mayor. I'm wondering if it's gonna come back and bite us in the butt that we didn't get the diary or whatever from the priestess as like some kind of like clue or evidence or something like that. We left the diary of the priestess in her little room. So other potions as well. Yes, healing antidote. Yes, we do have a healing potion and an antidote. Was that not on the was that not on this list? It is not. Thank you, Barry. That is very wise of you. We do have one healing potion, and we do have an antidote as well on top of all this other stuff. We also have a potion of barkskin, which gives us an AC of 16, which lasts for an hour. But yeah, you're right, Barry. We did totally buy that before. Well remembered. And we have... what else is going on with us? We did not go on patrol last night because we had a very close battle with this zombie. We were very close to being killed. I'm curious if the game would have like had a little Deus Ex Machina for us, or if we would actually have died. So that is something that happened. But here we are. We woke up in the inn, and let's get going. We have a two-parter tonight. We're going to get to the end of this chapter, chapter 6, which I think concludes the story. And then chapter 7 is a bit of a denouement, and we'll do that after a little break. So let's get going. We got a couple things to do, and we'll wrap this puppy up. No pun intended. A tray of food is waiting for you on the tables across from the mayor, who is calmly waiting with hands folded and a cup of tea steaming at her elbow. You sit down and eat, and her face tightens in what you assume is her smile. Today you will make the accusation, she says. The whole town is likely to attend. We will do it in the town square. You acknowledge that you are ready to accuse someone of killing Maybelline. We are? She sits with you as you both finish your morning meal and then escorts you to the town hall. Since you helped the mayor rid the town of Horace and Titch, which we did, the silence remains, but now it's taken on a companionable quality lacking any previous awkwardness. I smell romance. The mayor nods and then says, with the added threat of the undead, we must resolve the murder investigation quickly. My aide will make himself available to you, or if you need to visit the general store, this will be your last chance before the town gathers. I know, we are not ready for any accusations. I trust the mayor, though. She had a pretty decent alibi and rationale for what she was doing. We can go back to the general store and get, like, is it worth check? Yeah, at the end of this passage, let's check out the general store. It's right at the very end of the book. I think it's like the last page, conveniently. After this point, you may not visit, blah, blah, blah. I will take my leave now, she says, and my aide will prepare the documents you require to accuse the killer without my presence. Why isn't she going to be present? Good luck. Once you are ready, the aide will accompany you outside of the town square. I'm not ready for this. I think I'm going with the priestess currently. But let's before we go to 334, which is where we will jump, I'm going to scroll us down to the general store, and I think okay. Well, I guess the last pages are the backers. Here we go. Anything in this looking yummy for us? We've got. I mean, we've got the money. How much money do we have here? We've got. Where did I write down all of our gold at? 145 gold. So we still could get like 2 more potions of healing for 50 if we wanted to. If that makes sense. That seems weird. Why out of her presence? I think because she kind of wanted to be hands off of it. That's why like she hired us. But that does seem weird, right? Like she I don't know. That is a little strange, right? I don't know why she's not a part of this. It's the mayor. And yeah, like they're gonna be like, who put you in charge? Like the mayor, wherever the mayor is. Oil. Barry wants some oil. Oil. Oh, like a flask? Sure, it's just a silver. Why not? So let's say we'll get a couple things of oil because it's fun. Want to get a couple of potions of healing because it's only 25 gold. I'm good with that. So I'll update the character sheet here. Gosh darn it, get away. Gold. I'm just gonna put it at. I'll do it right. I'll do 95. And the oil was a silver. I'm not gonna break down our money like that. That's annoying. Potion of healing, yes. So I got us 2 potions of healing. I guess I should update that too. 2 potions of healing. And it's probably gonna go behind that. Oh, I can swing this. Yay! So 2 potions of healing. So we have 3 because I just bought 2 of healing, and 1 potion antidote, and oil for Barry. Do we have a torch? Yeah, sure. We have a torch. Why not? Again, the mundane things I'm just assuming we have. It seems like at the start of this we were a fairly established adventurer, so I don't know why. Why not? Rations? Okay. How much are rations? Rations, 1 a day, 5 silver. All right. Just for fun, I'll give us 4 rations. I don't even know if we have them or not, but we could have fed the dog them. That's why I was like, we didn't need them. And then it turned out we could have fed the dog, which was actually the druid. So I just gave us 4 rations, which I'll mark off another 2 gold for. So that puts us down to 93. How we feel? I feel that's pretty good, right? I don't know what else we would need. I'm assuming we'll have rope and torches and soap. Actually, we probably don't have soap. Actually, we're a bard. We probably do have soap. At least perfume to cover up the stank. Yeah, we're good. I think we got everything that we need. Let's jump to 334 and make our accusation. And it's weird the mayor is like, so who are you going to accuse? Maybe she's just trying to like wipe her hands of the whole thing. It was 334, so here we go. Let's see what happens. You emerge from the town hall to a gathered crowd. Okay. It seems like the whole town has arrived and surrounded the entrance, waiting for you to deliver the results of your investigation. Most of the townsfolk are unknown to you, but you are able to pick out a few that have spoken to you over the past few days. The aide has set up a small table with a single document, a quill, and an ink pot. Okay. He lifts the document and starts to read out the formal accusation of the murder of Maybelline, a citizen of good standing in Langston. It details the circumstances of her life and death in some jumbled legalese. So you turn your attention to the people gathered in front, most of whom are the common folk that you haven't had a chance to meet yet. I don't have a good feeling about this, says Morgan. Neither do I. And probably our character says that too. I don't have a good feeling about this. Towards the front row of the crowd, however, you can also see the now familiar faces of Tomlin. Tomlin's like the lover, right? The ex-fiance. And leaning towards the natural cause or something otherworldly that we have yet to meet. Yeah, we'll see. Roy, is that the druid? Salami? Oh, and Mayor and Athram. Okay, so I guess she's like, we are all accused, so I will stand before you, not beside you, if you want to accuse me. Maybe that's why she's out there. Accompanying the mayor, you see a few militia members standing at ease, but with long clubs hanging at their belts. We cast sleep and run away. Tomlin is standing at relative ease, an attractive young man standing close enough to him to touch, but barely not doing so. Ooh. Roy smiles at you as you emerge, his nose and cheeks still ruddy with the illness, but his eyes bright and clear. Selene stands alone in the crowd, her white robes a stark contrast to the homespun clothing of most of the townsfolk, and her face is drawn with apparent exhaustion. I'm leaning her? Mayor Nathram, or Tanya the Wolf of the Road, as you know her to be, stands as rigid and imposing as ever, but she graces you with a nod nonetheless. Her aide steps in front of you to address the crowd. These are trying times for Langston, and you are all afraid. Maybelline's death was tragic, and she was taken far before her time. And while she is now beyond her reach, we can still get justice for her death. The aide turns to you as he dips the quill into the ink. You feel the eyes of the entire town bear down on you, as well as the writing tool hovers over the document. Here we go. Who murdered Maybelline? The aide asks with finality. I mean, well, we can't accuse the dog. I think it's a homegirl priestess, because she's got the undead thing going on. As long as there's a priestess there, the undead can't come back. The undead are coming back, so she's already failed that part. She went on her trip. Yeah, they are very direct choices. You're right, Barry. She went on this like pilgrimage, and when she came back, she said she was changed or something like that. I mean, to me, it's the priestess, right? Let's see what the chat says here. I have Morgan and Barry, where Sans, a couple other people who are on the chat sometimes, so it's up to us. And on the Discord, we did chat a bit about it, but the priestess, no, I'm leaning priestess too. Barry, how are you feeling about this? Though I'm not quite sure about Tomlin. Yeah, Tomlin was a little weird, but he seemed cool. He's just thinks with his wiener. That seems to be just kind of his jam. But he had an alibi. He did. Did we get a chance to follow it up? But he did. He was like, I was with all these people that night. So he kind of did have an alibi. And if you do remember the wolf like that was on the roof said he is mine, which sounds kind of like a possessive lover, but it seems so like obvious. But I don't know. Is the only one I think so. I mean, I don't think it's a druid. He's got lycanthrope pox or whatever it's called. I'm leaning priestess on this. She just, yeah, she was like super creepers, right? I mean, it seems pretty freaking on the nose. And honestly, I would have interviewed her first. You're leaning Tomlin, then Salame, says Barry. Well, Morgan and I are both leaning Selene or Salami. So I think that's where we're going. We don't have Mike here to correct us. She does seem too obvious, but and Tomlin was like all cut up from like working in his garden and stuff like that, if memory serves. But but Tomlin was pretty obvious too, because remember, like because he has all these other lovers, and he's pretty on the nose too, because there were a lot of like, ooh, this guy's a little dubious, and he was already like smooching some chick like out on his front porch like the next day, so like he's really obvious too. But the stuff that we found in the diary that was like hidden. Oh, and we had the weird voodoo stuff, like the wrapped up like lavender stuff that would have been from her hair, like behind her Desk, yeah, I don't know if it is any of them. I think we go Selene. That seems to be the most, between the three of us, that seems to be the most popular. But yeah, I think we're still ready. Perhaps it's all four of them, says Barry, and our choice here just affects the story, or like who we fight. Maybe whoever we challenge, that's when we fight, or something like that. But yeah, I feel like there's still something else here. I feel like we're missing something. But let's go with Selene and see what happens here at 341. Let's see. You declare Selene, cleric of the Radiant Order, the killer. A shocked murmur ripples through the gathered townsfolk. A few people even crying out their disbelief. With pursed lips, the aide writes Selene's name onto the document and hands it to you. Add accusation. We got it. We know. It's clear that the aide also doesn't believe you. Do you have any evidence to back up this claim? We left it in the whatever. You may present any evidence you have. If you have the love letter in your inventory, if you have the burnt clothing in your inventory. I may not have written down the burnt clothing. We did gather the burnt clothing because that was in the furnace, right? We saw that was in the furnace, and maybe it just said mark it down. I just didn't write it in my. At the end of games, my notes are a little chicken scratchy. You probably can't see that anyway. But next page, silk ribbon. Oh, thank you, Barry. Next page, silk ribbon. Okay, yeah, we definitely have that. I think we have the burnt clothes too. I remember seeing that. And again, the diary, I feel like we can bring it up and be like, go look in our room. We know exactly where it is. Thank you, Barry. But yeah, silk ribbon. Let's start with that one. I think that's wise. You present the silk ribbon you found in the temple as evidence of the deed. Maybelline's ribbon, Tomlin shouts. It's Maybelline's ribbon! He's all upset like this cuckold, I guess. Tomlin shouts, Selene, how did you get it? He's very dramatic. Selene is at a loss for words, her mouth hanging open. Tomlin rushes you, reaching for the ribbon, but stops himself. I gave that to her for her birthday, he says. Her last birthday. And she was wearing it on the night that you killed her! Eyes flashing with anglerfish. With anger, Tomlin spins on Selene and raises a fist. Luckily, two men from the crowd rush forward and hold him back. Chest heaving, he shakes them off but returns to his companion. He jumps as he... jumps to his companion. He jumps as she touches his arm. But when he looks over at her, he seems to find some composure. Okay. In the meantime, the townfolk have backed away from Selene, leaving her small and isolated. But she isn't looking at you. Her eyes are fixed on Tomlin, and her mouth is pressed into a thin line. Says the aide as he adjusts his collar. So, you have any other evidence to present? I say we may be able to do the diary and just say it, because we saw it and we read it, but we returned it. But anyway, I'm going to say we have burnt clothes, because we did pull the clothes out of, and that may have been my mistake. So, that may have been my mistake, not writing that down. So let's do the burnt clothing. Or you can rest your case at 340. Okay. It's just kind of letting us just go through these. Let's see if any of them stick. Is everybody just going to start getting mad? Like Roy's going to get mad in this one? You display the burnt clothing, and many of the crowd notice the blood stains on it. I am a healer, Selene scoffs. Many of those with need for me are bleeding when they call, so it's not unusual for me to discard old robes. You ask if it's common for her to burn them when she discards them. You ask, what else am I supposed to do with them? She asks, her voice just edging towards a shrill, donate bloody rags to the poor? You could clean them. The crowd has also noticed Selene's shift in tone, and people are starting to gossip. Oh, Langston. The young cleric looks out and sees heads bobbing together in whispered conversation, and her cheeks flush. This evidence is compelling, but still circumstantial at best, says the aide. Have you anything else to present? It made us choose whether to keep the letter. We do not have it. I know. That was actually, I think, you, Barry, that said you did not want to show the letter. And that may actually be the damning piece of evidence that we need. So do we rest our case here? I mean, we don't have the option to be like, mention the letter that we did read. Did we find the letter? Was it on her desk, or did we actually find it behind the armoire or whatever that was? I remember we pulled something out from the wall, but that may have been like the wrapped up piece of silk that we found. But like, I still feel like Lafala, damn, to me, Avery wanted the letters subtext. So what do you think we do about this letter sitch? Because I'm assuming it's still there. Like, if this was a little bit of trials, like, we would send one of the militias, like, go look here and see if you can find this journal and bring it to us. We read this, but I think we just left it because we were being polite and not overly nosy. I wasn't there, says Morgan. Oh, that's right. That was a session you couldn't make. So, what do you think we do? Do we not do the letter and rest our case? It looks like we rest our case. That's not going to do it. But it could be if we do the letter, it'll be the same things. Like, not compelling enough because it isn't. She mentioned some pretty damning things, but she doesn't say, I killed her. But that is where all the information about I'm a bad person. Yeah, I know, Barry. I 100% agree. So Barry's rationale at the moment was with the letter, which I agree because she wasn't there and we were just snooping around, was we found her like very private journal and we're like, well, we're not going to take it because then she'll be like, oh, come on into my chambers. You looked through my stuff. And then she turns into a lycanthrope and eats us. So I would say you have it because it was evidence. Yeah, I'm going to lean that way. Let's just say we would send someone to go get it because we are aware of it. And yes, I'm leaning that way, Barry. Because, yeah, Barry, you were 100% correct. And that made sense. But I feel like for this trial, it's like, okay, gather everyone. And then we would run off to the temple and try to find that thing and bring it in, especially if we knew we had to name somebody in this talk that we had with the mayor. We'd be like, yeah. So I know we're kind of cheating a little, but let's do the letter. And that may still not be enough. So, but I'm fine with that. We can go get Buttercup to go get it. Okay. I don't think we had any moments that said, if you have the letter since then. We have not. This is the only time that it said that. But I'm good. I'm good with saying that it is evidence and we would have collected it. That's what I'm doing. Executive decision. I'm the DM here. You present the love letter to the aide. As he reads it, his face flushes a little. Solane's face darkens as she recognizes the sheet of paper. What does it say? Cries out a voice from the crowd. What is it? Calls out another. Please, Solane says quietly but surprisingly firmly. Please, don't. It's a personal letter, the aide says, from Solane to Tomlin, confessing deep, romantic feelings and hinting at something else. Motive, maybe, the mayor says, but hardly evidence. All right, well, it didn't matter. Do we have anything more substantial? No, we don't. All right, let's see what happens. Rest your case. That's all we have left. 320. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Sensing the danger, the two militia members flanking Solane reach for her just as the cleric doubles over in what seems like excruciating pain. Then an angry, cracking, ripping sound emanates from the slight cleric's body. It bulges and ripples, splitting her white robes as muscles and fur sprouts from her body. Limbs elongate and her face twists into a bestial muzzle. Yeah. And through it all, the crowd stands in rapt horror. The only sound is Solane's pained laughter, which drops into a guttural snarl. Oh, good. I thought it says, now, Roy gasps, werewolf! And then Roy turns into the werewolf. No, is what Roy gasps. Werewolf! In a moment of blind heroism, in idiocy, the two militia members to either side of the cleric rush in to try to restrain her, but she rakes them both with her powerful arms ending in long claws. Both men cry out in spurts of blood and fall to the ground. Tomlin's new woman clings to him as the cleric changes and Solane howls with rage. You! Tomlin's very dramatic. Says Tomlin. She says, pointing at Tomlin. Oh, it's not Tomlin. Never mind. You! Wait, it's a werewolf. You! You are now and always will be mine. She charges at her former lover, teeth bared and saliva streaming. So hot. Whatever collective uncertainty held the crowd in place vanished in the face of all that blood, and the stampede began. You are buffeted and panicked. Townspeople block your way. Dear gods, no! Screams Tomlin, his voice high with fear. Dear gods, no! Powered by rage and her unnatural strength, Selene snatches him up with a clawed hand, as if he weighed nothing more than a rag doll, and bounded through the crowd. That's funny. Through the tumult, you see her leave a trail of fallen townsfolk, most merely knocked to the ground, and she reaches out. She reaches one of the walls of the buildings nearby. She scrambles, one-handed. This is a strong werewolf. One-handed. It's like King Kong, like with the... I can't even remember her name. The actress person, like climbing the Empire State. She scrambles one-handed up the roof, her claws leaving long slashes in the whitewash and wood. Reaching the roof, she pauses to let out a long, keening howl before sprinting across the rooftop, moving to the east toward the temple. Arm yourself and go after her, Mayor Anathram yells. You're helping, right? She's the fighter. She takes over crowd control, directing some citizens away from the danger while calling out to rally militia members scattered among the throng of panicked townsfolk. Break the curse if you can. We have that sun thing which does remove curse. The sun pendant. Roy calls out, touching a hand to his chest. We'll tend to the wounded. Why don't you help us? Did Avery say so hot? Yeah, probably did. Who knows what I was talking about. He then drops to the side of the fallen militia members. The druid begins chanting, and his hands glow green as he lays them over the men's wounds. Not hesitating, I could hesitate, you sprint off through the streets of Langston towards the temple. And hopefully the mayor with us. Okay, just reading this. Okay. Just reading the chat. All right, making sure. Morgan's just giving me crap. Ooh, this is a long passage. You run at your top speed through the empty streets of Langston, sprinting to the southwest towards the temple. Your blood is rushing in your ears and your lungs are burning as you hope that you are going in the right direction. The cobblestones of the street fly past. Below you and the walls of the people's homes and businesses loom to either side, framing the morning sky. As you run, however, the sky's blue darkens to the red of an approaching sunset. Ooh, the full moon. After making a couple of turns almost by instinct, you come to the four-way intersection in front of the mayor's home. You stop to get your bearings and catch your breath. A man screams, loud and high with terror, piercing the air from straight ahead, then stops suddenly. You renew your pursuit, dashing again towards the southeast. You pass through the cemetery on your way to the temple, and everything there is still and quiet. The only movement you can see is a gathering flock of crows or ravens around the courtyard. You're sure you're too late, but you redouble your speed regardless. But your hopes are dashed as soon as you enter the temple courtyard. Tomlin lies dead in a spreading pool of his own blood, dark birds already preparing to scavenge the corpse. The morning sun hangs in a sky that seems stained by blood on the ground. Looking around, Selene is nowhere to be found. However, evidence of her passing is visible in the claw marks left on the ground, a trail of blood, in the smashed-in door to the temple. Here we go. I guess this is the temple. Looking pretty creepy. Oh, there's Tomlin. Good job, Selene, dummy. Follow Selene into the temple and finish this. Or stay back and first examine the murder scene. Oh, okay. Those are some good questions. So are we rushing in? Or are we staying back and examining the murder scene? How are y'all feeling in this? Do we check out Tomlin? Which, I mean, we do have healing word. Like, I guess he's dead. Examine is good to bury. That's one of the weird things about D&D. It's like, and they, like, sometimes in these passages you can get, and they die. And you're like, but I'm a healer. That's one of my really big issues with, one of them. With Eve of Ruin, the Vecna adventure. There's these mages. They're like, all like 20th level. High powered, actually more than that, and they get beat up in a fight and they can't help you because they need to heal, but the character is supposed to be like level 18. It's like pretty sure you could heal them. So examine. Okay, let's let Selene get a little run, a little head start, but let's see what's going on. Maybe we can steal from him. You stop to assess the area around you to see if there are any clues about the threat Selene poses and how you may neutralize her. Oh, that's good. Roll, oh, here we go. Our first roll, you two can fight amongst who gets to roll it. And roll intelligence investigation or wisdom perception. I think we're better at perception. I'll bring up our stats here in a second. We want a 10 or more. We do have inspiration. Give me 1 second to bring up our little stat block. Boy, where is it? Here we go. Yoink. Our was investigation is a 2, perception is a 3. We want a 10. So whoever wants to roll first, you are up. It just I think you're both already in the dice chat. You are. Wisdom is better. Yeah, we got a plus 3 for our wisdom roll. For our perception, at least. Barry says, take whatever inspiration we can. This time seems important. It kind of does. I would agree. We may get some information that we need. All right, Barry, you're up. Morgan, anyone who has watched our Legendary Kingdoms will understand why Morgan is very hesitant to make any rolls. Poor Akihiro has been not doing too well for us. We kind of hit a... Akihiro is kind of responsible. Bad dice were responsible for one of our characters dying and then dropped the ball a bit when we had a temple collapse in on us that we never found a brooch, which was the whole reason we're there. Okay, yeah, you roll 2d20, Barry, and we will take the highest of the roll. We need a 7, so we also... Ooh, before you roll it, Barry, before you roll it. Shit, you roll it. Ooh, I cussed. I tried not to cuss in these, and I did. We got it. I was about to say, you could have cast Bardic Inspiration on yourself and saved the inspiration for later, because we do have 3 uses of Bardic Inspiration. But you did succeed on both of them. So if we would have cast Bardic Inspiration, we wouldn't have used it and still had it for the next, like, whatever encounter this is. So anyway, we may want to use our Bardic Inspiration right now. Just so we have it for the next, like, 10 minutes, which we're going to rush into a temple, I'm assuming. So, and that will add a d6 to one of our rolls. Again, to those who don't know, typically a bard can't cast on himself. This is solo adventure. The mayor's AWOL, making us do everything on our own. I don't know why we don't have the townsfolk with their whole kill the beast thing going on with us right now, but we're on our own. So we did succeed. Do you guys, should we cast the Bardic Inspiration to just give us a plus d6 to a roll that we need, which we can roll after the roll? I think it's a good idea, but you guys are the chat. If it adds a d6, that would have been good enough for me to be confident. Sure. Confident to save the inspiration, Barry, and do the, with hitting that reverse. I'm okay with hitting that reverse. Hey, Kelsey! How are you doing? This is Kelsey just joined the chat. Kelsey is awesome. I met her doing Christmas Carol. And we're like wrapping up a game, but you need to join us for one where you can start in the beginning. But Kelsey's awesome. She played this little owl person in an in-person D&D thing that I did. Hi, Kelsey. Kelsey's super cool. But we are currently trying to track down a werewolf, Kelsey. So let's do, Barry says, I'm literally on break at Christmas Carol right now. Sounds about right. Barry, when you're saying you're okay hitting that with reverse, like meaning cast the Bardic Inspiration and save the inspiration, I'm fine with that. Both rolls were successful, so we wouldn't have used it and would save the inspiration. Let's just say we did that. So we've used one of our inspirations. Kelsey, we do play a game that's super fun on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I know you're in show mode, so that'll be tricky, but we should text. Get on my Discord. I have a Discord, and join us. But it's good to see you on there, Kels. I miss you. I miss my Christmas Carol fam. Oh, man. I missed the werewolf stuff. Well, we're chasing the werewolf. Okay, we're about to find out what's going on. If you roll 10 or more, here we go. Tomlin's chest and neck were torn open by powerful strikes. Unlike Maybelline, whose wounds were haphazard and widespread, there is much more purpose to Tomlin's wounds. There is anger present in their depths and ragged edges, but these were deliberate strikes with the intent to kill. Does she have an accomplice? The bloody paw prints that lead away from the corpse towards the temple seem to include a place where they circled back, as if Selene took one last look at the broken body before escaping into the place where she feels safest. There is nothing else to note here, so you can leave the body to the crows. Oh, that's nice of us. Yeah, get on the Discord, Kels, because yeah, it'd be fun to have you. Kelsey's awesome. And she's a great artist. Oh, Kelsey made my, my little Alone in the Dark logo. All my little Alone in the Dark logos. Kelsey made those. Because I use a real artist. So what did we learn from this? That she's angry. Does it look like it's someone else who did it? Or is it just angry? I don't quite know what we got with this. There's anger present. Okay, she's just angry. Well, I'm assuming she was angry. All right, if anyone has... does that mean there's some... Well, we have to go forward anyway, so it doesn't matter. You pass through the courtyard and its outdoor altar quickly on your way to the front hall, where we know there's a booby trap which will electrocute us. When you enter the temple, It doesn't have the same sun-drenched charm as the first time you arrived. The red light streaming in the windows gives everything an air of menace, tinging even the shadows with bloody highlights. The tapestries are depicting the dead, seem darker, almost as if they're absorbing the light itself and feeding off of it. The main hall, where you met Selene on your last visit, is also changed. Instead of the sunburst mosaic, there is a spiral staircase bearing the same motifs circling down in the darkness below the temple. Remember, there was like some little indentation that we like couldn't figure out? She knew what it was. Though it is possible Selene escaped down one of the corridors, you feel certain that she has instead retreated into the darkness below. You cautiously descend the steps below to find corridors, rough-hewn walls of damp stone, and what seem like animal bones in various stages of decomposition. As you proceed, you find your way lit by the same glowing orbs you saw above ground. So this is clearly part of the original temple. Its purpose, in a temple devoted to the sun, however, is unclear, especially if we're down on the earth. You keep your wits about you as you advance down the corridors, careful at every turn not to become another set of bones upon the floor. Just catch up with the chat. No kidding, she's angry. Hi, all. Hey, Mike. So, we had a little, Tomlin got it. Wounds were different than Maybelline's. Tomlin's wounds were different than Maybelline's. I think just, yes. Oh, I see what I was saying. Tomlin's wounds were different than Maybelline's. Maybe she's in a different form. Maybe with Maybelline, she was in like her wolf form. And with Tomlin, she's in her hybrid form. Is that what that's meaning? I honestly don't know. We accused Selene, and it seems to be pretty obvious. Okay, so here we go. Hi, Mike. Welcome. We just had a Kelsey. That was good. I hope Kelsey joins. She's super fun. She's a good friend of mine. And you guys are too. In the dim light of the magical, or anyone else, if anyone else is watching, feel free to join the chat, even though you probably have no idea what's happening, but we don't really either, so it's okay. In the dim light of the magical illumination, you quickly figure out that while the corridors twist a couple of times, they all lead to the same place, a large chamber where it seems Selene has made a lair for herself. When you arrive, the cleric is still in werewolf form and crouching in the center of the room. She stares at her bloodied claws, huffing out canine whines. I think we can remove this curse. You approach cautiously, but there's nowhere to hide, so you make no attempt at stealth. We could have tried and failed. She notices you immediately, but doesn't move from where she is. Okay. You shouldn't be here. Go away! That's my, doesn't he say that in Thriller? Go away! In the movie that they're watching at the beginning of Thriller. I'm old, I don't remember that well. She runs, and yeah, that's the movie. Okay, that they're watching at the beginning of Thriller. Try to talk to her, or take actions immediately in the threat. I mean, use the beastie thing. We have a few beastie things. Haha, bless. Nice to meet you guys. Yeah, please, Kelsey, I'd love to have you join. I know it's a little busy with your theater schedule, but yeah, get in on these things. We're playing Wednesday, and then Sunday. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking talk to her, right? The remove the curse amulet. Okay, because we also have the thing that protects us from beast attacks and like halves our damage. We could try to remove curse. Cleric werewolf. Let's go. I would definitely talk to her. Okay, well, Kelsey says talk to her, so it's a cleric werewolf. But Barry seemed beastie thing, but talk to her seems... Ooh, we're a little mixed here. Use the beastie thing. Talk to her. Remove the curse amulet. So yeah, are you guys feeling it is a little mixed right now? Let's try to get a little bit and talk to her. Were you just saying the remove curse amulet, Morgan, just as a answering me was like which beastie thing, or is that you want to take action immediately and do that, or talk to her? I can bring it up so we can read these things a little bit better. I can pop these out. What options are in the passage? Talk to her or take action immediately. And oh, sorry, you guys probably couldn't see it because I haven't scrolled up enough. There it is. Sorry. Talk to her or take actions to immediately end the threat. Those are the two options. Our little, our beastie thing, as you guys, the silver star, which I'm assuming takes an action maybe. Casting remove curse on the star recharges it. Has a single charge of remove curse within it with the range of touch. So, yeah, take action is vague. I think that just puts us straight into combat and initiative. But I'm assuming we're not in touch range. That's where it gets a little tricky with this. And then the filter of remembrance like just stuns everything, and that thing is maxed out. So that is a big thing. Yeah, yuck, touch, exactly. And then we have the lesser amulet of the beast. Anything with the beast subtype, we have resistance to natural attacks. And that is including shape changers and beast form, which she's in hybrid form. I guess that's beast form. So I say do the second two because we can. Silver Star, touch, range, remembrance, throw, amulet, wear. Let's riz her up. I say do the second two because we can. Silver Star, we gotta hope we can. So are you guys saying take action now? Which of these two options are we doing? I don't quite understand. Well, you're saying, again, this is the moments where if I could hear you guys, I'd understand much better what's going on. We don't have an option. Nope, we do not. Not at the moment. I don't know. I guess any of those are... Yes, I think, yes, Barry, using that is take action. So is that where you're leaning, is take action? Right now, the only question I need answered is, are we talking to her or taking action? I think taking action is combat where we can do any of those things. And talking to her, maybe we can get close enough to try them. But want to talk with her if we don't get those options. I guess... Can we walk as we talk? I know, that's a good question. It looks like we're trying to talk to her to get some information out of her, see what's going on, or we are taking action. That is, I'm literally going to click a button if I don't start getting direct answers. Agreed. Agreed what? I guess any of those are take action. We want to talk, or we don't get those options. This is where anyone... Let's talk. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Let's talk. Yeah, Barry said it, so let's do it. Gain inspiration, which we don't need. So yeah. Didn't need... Oh, we still have our bardic inspirations. I think it lasts like 10 minutes. Oh, Kelsey's done. Are you guys on lunch? Are you guys in tech? What's going on? You indicate that you just want to talk. She narrows her eyes and a lip curls back from her fangs, and she considers your presence. Then she licks her muzzle and relaxes a little. What do you want to know, adventurer? You've at least bought a little time to find out more about Maybelline. Oh, here we go. Ask her why she killed Maybelline. Jealous. Or Tomlin. Crazy. Or start from the beginning and find out how she contracted the curse. Alternately, you could assure her that she'll be safe if she comes peacefully. I say we get some information, right? We're in tech dinner, the annoying 2 hour long... Oh, I hate that. That's where we played The Crew nonstop. Yeah, what are we doing with this here? Ask her why she killed Maybelline. Ask her about Tomlin, or start at the beginning. Good choices, finally, says Barry. Barry, have you played the Crew, the card game? It's a really great card game. I think you'd really like it. And I played it nonstop with Kelsey during Christmas Carol last year. And a group of people. Find out how she got the curse. I agree. I feel that's a pretty darn good one. I'm assuming it's on this pilgrimage that she took. I'll see if anyone else says something else different, but it looks like Mike is leaning towards find out how she got this curse, which again, curse, yes, played. Let's do it. Yep. Boink. Ooh, boy, it's on her pilgrimage. It was on my pilgrimage, she says. I returned to the Radiant Order to report and speak to my mentor, but I was attacked by a wolf one night. I drove it away with holy magic and healed my wounds. It was frightened, but I thought little more of it. It was frightened, but I thought little more of it. I don't know why that turn of phrase is strange to me. When she returned to her order's monastery, she fell ill. No one there could help her, but no one thought to assess her for curses. We have a pendant. But no one thought to assess her for curses. She ran a fever and was delirious. On the next full moon, she changed uncontrollably and blacked out. When she came to, she was bathed in blood in a farmer's field surrounded by mutilated sheep. She left, amidst the investigation, without anyone suspect, and returned home, hoping to rid herself of the curse. Well, most call this a curse, she rumbles. The curse of lycanthropy. Look what I have done. What I have the power to do. Is she relishing this? She holds up her claws, still wet with Tomlin's blood. This is a power I never had as a cleric. Uh-oh. I was powerless, a servant to the people of this town, healing coughs and broken wrists, but now I have real power. She lets out a whining giggle. Okay. And you can see in her eyes that something has come loose in her mind. Of course, that power is gone, and with it, the temple's power protecting these lands. But that's also fitting, isn't it? Could that be what Langston deserves? Get over yourself. If you haven't done so yet, you can ask her about her motives behind killing Maybelline or Tomlin. If you have no more questions, you could try to de-escalate the conflict with assurances you will take her if she comes peacefully. She doesn't sound like she's going to be very peaceful. Or take active measures to end her as a threat. So dumb monks, says Mike. That's about the curse. Ooh, she likes that. Gotta give it up for a wolf woman. Of course, Kelsey's team wolf. So do we ask her about Maybelline or Tomlin? Maybelline makes sense, because she was a jilted lover. Tomlin, I don't know what that was all about. She got him. I mean, obviously he wasn't into it. Actually, Tomlin sounds like a pretty freaky dude. He may have been into it. All right. I saw Maybelline first. This seems like one of those just where we just get to ask everything. So let's just see what we got. So you ask her why she killed Maybelline, because you're really stupid. And she stands up straight on her back feet with her hackles raising and her teeth bared. Because she was a lying little vixen, she snaps. Oh, everyone loved the innocent maid who sold her family's produce in the market. She was Langston's golden child. But she showed me her true colors. You ask Selene what Maybelline actually was. A scheming little wench. Stealing Tomlin from me was just the beginning. I don't know what she wanted in the end, but she was now the kind, sweet soul. But she was... I'm assuming that's a typo. Now. Not the kind, sweet soul everyone thinks she was. She was cruel. Solene's eyes lose some of her humanity in the memory of it. All right. Oh, she laughed at me, mocked me for my faith, for being a servant of Langston instead of twisting it around my finger as she had. And then she was dead. The werewolf looks at her claws and shows her teeth again. You realize she's smiling, and you can see her humanity slipping further away. And that felt good. I may be bad, but I feel good. That's an Army of Darkness quote. She looks up at you, and the eyes that meet yours were not quite those of the devout spiritual leader. They were the eyes of a killer, and you are suddenly sure that if you don't do something quickly, you will be next. You will be next. Do you want to keep talking? It looks like we can. Behind killing Tomlin, and then So we're about to find out about Tomlin, and then you guys need to figure out a strategy, because it looks like we'll see what happens. So let's find out about Tomlin. You ask her why she killed Tomlin. She flinches. Tomlin betrayed me, she says, ears flattening against her huge head. He lied to me, used me, and he dropped me for the market hawker as soon as he could. You ask if she loved him, and she snarls, of course I did, you fool. More than anything, more than I should have. And he used that against me again and again. There is violent anger coiling in Selene now, and she starts to pace. If only he had chosen me, this could have been different. Everything could have been different. She starts shaking her head, clenching and unclenching her hands. You can try to distract her with more questions about why she killed Maybelline, or how she can track her. So it's just, we're in a circle. Okay, so what are we doing? Are we trying to convince her, or it literally says, or attack Selene. So that is what taking actions means. Kelsey's very excited about this. I'm for no more talking, no kidding. So edgy, she is. Very edgy. Try to remove the curse. I agree. I mean, we want to get this convince. There are more fish in the sea, lady. Jeez. Convince. So Barry, okay. So, Mike and Barry are both team convince. Try to remove the curse. Yeah, okay, let's go with convince. We are a bard, and that makes sense. That is where we would lean. So let's try to convince. Try to convince her to come in peacefully. I'm good with that. Again, we still have our inspiration. We still have our bardic inspiration. Okay, says Morgan. Ow. Looks like we're about to fight or something. You promise that if Selene surrenders to you now, you will not hurt her. Where's the mayor? And the militia? The creature in front of you lets out a rumbling laugh. They were ready to hang me for the girl, she says between chuckles. You think they're willing to forgive me? After what I did in the square, you are a fool. Flexing her powerful limbs, she advances towards you. All traces of quiet sweetness are gone, and only the predator remains. Does this mean, like, we lose initiative? Oh, okay. But if I get rid of you, I can escape to live and kill another day. She says, starting to advance on you. Selene of the Radiant Order is dead, and you are about to join her. Okay. Her eyes flash, and you know you'll have to take some action. All right. Let's go. Here. Ooh, here she is. Oh, she's pretty. Selene lunges at you, but you had half expected things to go wrong at any point, so you're not caught unawares. Well, yeah. She clenches and unclenches her claws as she growls. You've always heard, you think this as she's leaping towards us, you have always heard that werewolves and other lycanthropes are immune to ordinary weapons. We have a club +1. But this is your chance to put that to the test. Oh, I'm glad we're thinking of this as like an opportunity to learn something. She is watching you carefully, clearly unsure of what to expect of you. Okay. We do have this little something that says, in this adventure, you have received certain magical items that may help you defeat Selene if you use them. No kidding. As an action, you can try to throw the filter of remembrance. That was the thing that will stun her for like 1d6 rounds. I can bring it back up. Or touch her, the silver star, with a successful attack roll. That is what will possibly remove curse. She's an inexperienced werewolf. She's still like in that dabbling stage where it's just a phase. So we can draw with our own weapon, draw the moon shard. Maybe the moon shard was remember we had the choice between getting something offensive or defensive, and we chose defensive. Maybe that's what that means. Draw the scrappling claw. I think we gave the scrappling claw we gave it to Roy. I'm almost positive. If you have any magical ability, you could try to cast a spell. If she drops to 0, hooray. 58 health. Holy biscuits. That's going to be tough for us. Bye, Kelsey. Have a great time at tech. Send everyone my love. Useless mayor. Very sweet little pupper. Scientific method. Very important in a scrap. We're curious. There we go. We're curious. Bad dog. Silver star or remembrance? Ooh, that is true, Barry. If we can stun her, then we can just walk up and put the thing on remembrance. Or we hold on to it, and it's a really great item. Let me bring those items up a little bit. Let me bring those up. So, we have the Lesser Amulet of the Beast, half damage. Filter of Remembrance. If this vial contains at least 3 doses, it has all 10. Is that right? Is it 10? Holds 10 doses. I know it's a little blurry, so sorry about that. I agree, Morgan. Probably stun first. So we still have all 10 doses. The DC would be 18 wisdom. On a failed save, she would be stunned for 1d4 rounds. I feel like, yeah, if we stun her, then she can't stop us just slapping that silver star on her. But I'm assuming it's an action to do that. But that seems like, or we hold on to it because it's a really powerful item. And unfortunately with that stun thing, it works for like everybody in a radius. So like if we had a group of people, we could just stun a group of enemies. So, but I mean, also she has disadvantage as well due to her smell. Oh, is that something else? Just she has disadvantage. Oh, with the roll because she's a werewolf. Thank you. It's real. I'm sure it's just as fuzzy for you guys. It's super fuzzy on my screen. Oh, dude, yeah. I feel like I wish we could just like pour half of it into another bottle. I'm like, here's that much. We want to keep some of this. So yeah, we stun her, right? We stun her and then slap that thing on her face. I mean, I'm assuming that's where we're all leading. It's a great item, but we should use it. I can't read it, but yeah, I'm sorry. So that seems to be the gist of throwing down smoke bomb. She has disadvantage, says Bear, because she operates on smell, and it is like again, this is like the Macy's stinky stuff. So let's go for it. The vial contains. I'm just trying to find the disadvantage. I'm sure it's there. Oh, intelligence of 6. She has to have an intelligence of 6 or higher, right? Yes, it's 13. Okay, let's do it. Filter. Smoke bomb. Morgan. No, but I roll this. Do you guys want to roll it, or should I roll? I'll roll bad guy. I'll roll the bad guy. because this is a spell save DC, I think I said of 18, correct? Because it was 8, yeah, 8 plus 10 doses, 18. I really wish I would have said this earlier that we could have mixed half of it into another bottle and had 2 of these things. I don't want to roll. Do you want me to roll it, or Mike, do you want to roll? And this will be at disadvantage, so it'd be 2d20s that we need to roll. Her wisdom save will be a +1, so we just don't want 2 17s or above, which our charisma is now +1. Our charisma is now +1? Why is that? I think, no, that's if you drink it, Barry. We're not drinking it. I think every time you drink it, it has 10 doses. Our charisma increases by 1. That is one of the abilities we can use it for, and we're using it for the more offensive ability. I think if that's what you're saying. But should we... I'm going to roll. Okay, here we go. I'm going to roll. We don't want 2 17s. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Big ol' whiff. She took a big ol' whiff of that Macy's Day stuff. Okay. As an action... Oh, you know what I think we needed to do, though? Roll initiative. So we hit her. We still need to roll initiative, though. Morgan, you're up. Sorry. Roll us initiative. And Barry, do you want to... Actually, I'm here. I'll just for simplicity, I will always roll the bad guys. It just makes it go a little faster. Here's my initiative. Sorry. It may get a hit on us first. What? Do we have to do initiative? Draw your own weapon. It says we weren't... I don't know. We just have to do initiative. 5. Okay. I think we have to do initiative. Back in 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, Mike. It says draw your own weapon. If you have any magic ability, you can also cast a spell. I think we're just in combat, so I think she does get to go first. So I will have her go. She is... Let's see. She's +2 to hit. 1d6 +2. Ow, that still hurts. 1d6 +2. We may need to throw that thing on her and cast Healing Word on herself. So she does go first. She is going to charge. And she is going to try to rake us with her claws. She has a +2 to... Oh, you know what we should have done, and we're freaking idiots? Is taking the dumb bark skin potion as well. Like, as we were walking here. We never did that. Is that something we would have done? I don't mind retconning because I never really had the... Someone's writing now. Bark skin, says Morgan. Is that something we should do? Because again, we saw her. We're talking like, hey, just chilling. Just drinking some of this. Yes! Says Morgan. Apparently great minds think alike. Okay. We used our potion of bark skin. That gives us a AC of 16? 16, which is a pretty substantial +3. That's great. Thank you, Morgan. Okay. So we get a +4 to this. To her attack. No, +2. Okay. So, +2. Sorry. And then she rolls 1d6 +2. God, this could be like a one-hit kill if we weren't at max health. Okay, +2. 6. We are down to 4 health. Let's try to stun her. As an action, you can try to throw the filter of remembrance. So, do we just go... It looks like we go to 353 if we do it. She did fail it. So we already know that happens. Roll like me, Avery. Yeah, I'm rolling. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Let me update the health here real quick. We are down to 4. We can still do Healing Word on our turn to bump us back up. And if we are max health, unless she crits, she can't kill us in one blow. So let's do the filter. We succeeded. We threw it. You hurled the filter of remembrance at Solane from out of range. It smells like Tomlin. The glass vial smashes against the floor, and sparkling vapor rises up into the air to shroud the fallen cleric's paws. What is this strange smell? And then she sneezes violently. It's so familiar. Yeah, it's Tomlin. Roll a wisdom save. We did. We won. Smell wisdom modifier is +1. We know. We did that. She failed. Again, let's keep up remember that we can cast Healing Word on ourselves as well. So our turn's only halfway over. The filter of remembrance, glowing vapors curl up from the ground and wrap around and through Solane's head. Her nose twitches on her muzzle and her very large ears swivel, searching for the source of the sounds only she can hear. Oh, this isn't good. Oh, it's a potion of remembrance. That's not good. Tomlin? Is that you? She rumbles. Oh, A picnic, how romantic. Thank you, darling. She sighs and sits on her haunches as she stares off into the middle distance. No sooner does she settle in, but she starts rocking back and forth, whimpering to herself. No. No, no, she whines, staring at her paws. Don't leave me, Tomlin. No, stay with me. And she stops speaking altogether, lost in her remembrance. She is stunned. So who wants to roll the 1d4? I think that Morgan said be right back is the last we heard of it, but one of y'all needs to roll a 1d4 to Barry. Is it you? We need someone to roll a 1d4 to see how many rounds she is stunned. Someone. 4! Good job, Barry. 4 rounds. Stunned. Let me look up the condition, but I think it literally just means, like, you ain't doing anything. Everything's at advantage, so we could, like, lop her head off. But, here we go. Incapacitated. See the condition. Can't move, can only speak. And I feel like with stunned, you can't break out of it. Like, can't move, can't speak. Automatically fails strength and dex. Attack rolls have advantage, and they would just sit there. But I still think we're going to try to remove curse. We have 4 rounds. So, okay, let's go to 350. Okay, we're just back here. Yeah, we're going to just do the remove curse thing, right? Tell me if I'm off here, but... okay, so that we still have 4 more rounds. We're still in our first round. Should we, just in case, cast Healing Word on ourselves? And that will end our first round. Then we still have 4 more rounds. Does that sound like a good thing to do, just in case? How are y'all feeling about that? Heal first. Okay, great. Healing Word is, it's like 1d4 plus 2? What is it? Or maybe that's a potion. Healing Word, 5e. Healing Word, 1d4. Oh, no, that's for each spell slot. 1d4 plus our spellcasting modifier. Our spellcasting modifier is probably like a 4? Let's see here. Spellcasting modifier. What is our charisma bonus? There it is. 3. So somebody, and we do have potions, all right, but that is an action, so that would take one of our rounds. But yes, we do have potions. So it is a 1d4 plus 3. Who wants to roll this one? Who's up to roll the, there we go. Is having trouble. Did somebody roll it? I haven't seen it yet. That was Barry's roll for the stun. I don't know if it... Morgan, why don't you roll it? I don't think Mike's back yet. Go ahead and roll and see how much we get healed. So it's plus 3. So we get 3 plus roll a 1d4 for us, please, Morgan. And I will update our character. Shite. Oop, that sounded like I was Irish and saying a cuss word. So yeah, go ahead, Morgan, roll a 1d4. She's doing it right now. What plus 3? Do. And it is a 2, 5. Great. We're at 4. Okay. I think we're at 4, so we're at 9. Great. And then we have 4 rounds, so we could still, like, take a potion, but it's just 1 health. So we're back at 9. And let us do the Toucher with the Silver Star. 364, because that's where we're leaning, right? Hi, we're touching with the Silver Star, Mike. We healed ourselves in the ebb and flow of battle of her sitting there. Somone tries to slash. Nope. And you try to connect with her with magic out of my hand. In the eternity that is Mortal Kombat! You are in a stalemate. No, we're not. Neither having the upper hand for a split second. Nope. You wonder if you have made a grave mistake in pursuing such a dangerous beast to her lair, who's currently sitting there having a conversation with an imaginary Tomlin who she just killed. But then, through the flurry of claws and teeth, you leap forward. So maybe we're just acting this out in our head. We're like, ooh, 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 whoa, whoa, when she's, like, completely stunned and, like, tripping balls. You manage to make contact with the Silver Star. Magic thuds out of the silver brooch into Selene, locking both of you in place. As you feel the magic of the brooch pouring out... Oh, that's good. Mayor Anathram and Roy lead a group of armed townspeople into the chamber. All of them stand rapt as you press the Silver Star harder into the werewolf. Take that. There's a loud crack and a shower of brightly sparking motes of light around the Silver Star. Selene jerks and howls long and low to echo through her underground lair. As the light continues to dance and spin down to earth, Selene's transformation proceeds in reverse. The fur covering her body retracts back into her skin, and her limbs shorten and contract into her human form. Her howl becomes a scream, and she drops to her knees on the ground. No, no, no! Because she likes being a wolf. She yells, gathering the tatters of her robes around her. Dear gods, no! So modest. She looks down at her small, pale hands still stained with Tomlin's blood, and then up at you, tears streaming down her face. How dare you take that away from me, she demands. Now I'm just me. She collapses to the ground, sobbing bitterly into her red-stained hands. Roy and Mayor Anathram step back to a respectful distance as the militia members flank her and gently carry off the broken cleric. As the militia members lead Selene away, you see how dark the rings under her eyes have gotten. How ugly she is. Gross. Tomlin would never go for her. How she staggers with exhaustion. How she clings her shredded vestments around her. The disgraced cleric is a broken woman, and it's impossible to tell when she gave up her humanity to the beast. Good job, Avery. Way to really ruin that sentence. To the beast she had become. As she is escorted from the chamber, Selene fires you a last look. Everyone's become like really catty and petty tonight. A mysterious smile spreads across her face suddenly. Uh-oh. And then she vanishes down the corridor on her way back to the surface. What? Oh, she vanishes like she's let off. I thought she like poofed away with like a smoke bomb. I cannot remember what Roy sounded like. Nice work, adventurer, Roy says with his custom joviality. Oh, he's jovial. It was a touch and go for a bit there, but you pulled it off. Indeed, the mayor says with an emphatic nod. The town owes you its gratitude, and I am thankful as well. You accept both leaders' praise and prepare to take your leave. Let us walk with you. Wait, we're leaving? Mayor Nathram says, I would speak with you both before the day is done. Okay. Aye, I could do that. Let's be off, says Roy. The three of you leave the now empty lair together, bound for the town hall and the end of your quest. When you emerge from the temple, you see that the morning sky has returned to normal. Wasn't it just sunset when we got here? That battle was 2 rounds. That's 12 seconds. Roy and Mayor Anathram are speaking with each other, which means Roy is regaling her with a long-winded tale of his youthful exploits as part of an adventuring party. As you walk the streets, you see townsfolk emerging from their homes to speak to neighbors, and the mood is bright. News of Selene's capture traveled quickly, and the relief is palpable. Taking much longer, at a normal pace, you return to the town hall. A group of locals is out in the square with scrub brushes and soapy water, taking the blood off of cobblestones. The mayor's aide is waiting by the entrance to the town hall, smiling as you approach victoriously. Oh, here's Buttercup. Hey, watch, it's going to be Buttercup. It's like Kaiser Sose moment coming up. This way, please, he says, and then addresses the mayor. I've prepared everything in your office, ma'am. Buttercup is waiting in the office as well, safe from harm's way in the temple. Seeing your trio, he bounds up to you and rushes past the mayor to lick Roy and prance around the dwarf in excitement. Aye, aye, Roy says as he wipes his face. All's well, lad. The mayor takes her seat behind the desk as Roy shoos Buttercup back to his dog bed. Or is it a dog bed? She steeples her fingers. Oh, okay. I've never heard that term. I like it. As Roy finds a nearby armchair to settle into. The results of your investigation will affect your rewards, adventurer. No, just pay us the full amount. Selene is facing the consequences of her actions. So must you. What? Check your inventory for a record of who you accused. Selene, obviously. Check them with the chat, what they say. Oh, I inferred sunset. Okay, I inferred sunset, so I guess it was sunrise. Thank you, Barry. That time it doesn't make sense, but Barry says it was sunrise. 100% mean girl energy, and our Yelp review for this village is going to be epic. As Glonk says, this place sucks. Again, Mike played Barbarian in Curse of Strahd, and that's like one of the few things we talk about, and his uncle Dunkado. Okay, we accuse Selene. 369. Ooh, we're almost to the epilogue, which will be after a little break. Selene had us all fooled. Not us, Roy said sadly. She was well liked, loved even. Such a sad turn of events. But now the people of Langston can rest a little easier, Mayor Nathram says. You have their gratitude, and mine. She hands you a large coin pouch, and it's considerably heavier than you expected. Ooh. 350 gold. Okay, writing that down. If you're using milestones, we gained a level. A key. You also keep any items you've collected. Yeah. The club. Oh, here we go. You earned every copper of that adventurer, Roy says. We didn't get any copper. We got gold. But we are hoping it does not satisfy you fully, the mayor says. We have further business to discuss. You stow your coin as best as you can, given its weight, and ask the mayor to continue. Go to the end of adventure. Okay. Here we go. Looking back over the past few days, it feels like much longer stay in the unassuming town of Langston. It does. You've destroyed monsters, big and small. A zombie was our biggest fight by far. You cured diseases, broke curses, and likely even made a few friends. But the mayor and the druid want you to remain in Langston for a while longer. While it's been challenging, Roy says, there is still much to do. Selene is in custody, Mayor Nathram says, but it is unclear if she still poses a new threat now that her curse is broken. Roy continues, and her actions have clearly severed her connection to her divine power, which is true, which means undead are going to start coming back, but she's just so calm. She's powerless, trapped, and just sitting in that cell like she's waiting for something. There is also now the problem of the undead, Mayor Nathram says, and she seems suddenly tired. Now that there is no cleric of the Radiant Order, the dead are not staying that way, Roy says, and there could be serious consequences to the temple being too long without a member of the Radiant Order maintaining its town's protections. Well, they better get a freaking cleric, because we're a bard. We don't do gods. You have fulfilled your obligations to us, adventurer, says the mayor, but I hope you will help us again. Come on, Roy says with a wink. Wink. I did that wrong because it's reversed. Wink. You know whatever comes next will be fun. If you end the adventure here, you keep all inventory items and levels you earned. Do we not if we continue? So it's up to you. If you bid Langston and its people Pharaoh leave, or continue the epilogue and finish what you started, which we will do. And we will do that in, I can't remember what time did I put that down for? We start at 4, like 5:30? But what time? I don't know. Time to multi-class chat. Oh, that's right. Did we gain a level? I think this may, I don't know if we're going to have any like fighting in this, but yeah, we are level 2. Multi-class seems to make some sense, but we're so low level. I know, right? This is, well, again, we can do this on the Discord. We can talk about this in the DnD chat. Because there are backup books to this. I think 3 more are out, and the 4th one is currently being kickstarted, like the Streets of Port Noir or something like that. How long is the epilogue? It goes from 370. I did look. It's a ways. It goes from 370 to 400. So what I think we can do is take a little break and come back in like 5 minutes and do the epilogue. And yeah, we'll just do that. Want to meet in like how about we meet at like 5:30? Is that okay? But I don't think it's super long. But yeah, I'd like to finish this up tonight. But does that work? 5:30 Pacific Standard. Episode 6 shows start at 5:30. How's that sound? Yeah, well, let's just start at 5:30, which gives us 12 minutes. And I don't think it's going to be long. I think it's just going to be me reading. And we can just give little thoughts about the adventure. And then, again, we have the Discord channel. And we can chat about leveling up and continuing this. I'm happy to continue this whenever. But, again, we're not in a huge rush because there aren't that many more to go. But, yeah, let's meet back up in, like, 12 minutes. And, all right, good job. Go team. We did it. We had a lot of items. That the zombie was terrifying combat. That was a breeze because we had anti-werewolf things. All right, I'll see you guys in like 10 minutes and we'll finish this bad boy up. Yeah. Okay, clicking the buttons. I need a catchphrase. Help me with a catchphrase. I don't have one to end each thing with. Like, you guys are turds. Bye. That doesn't work.